I started by scratching at my skin. It then sort of progressed onto using sharper objects. I was being bullied at school. Self-harm became a way of coping, and it made me feel in control.
Amy Patterson from Worthing self-harmed from the age of 13. It's commonly cutting, but self-harm can be anything intentional, like hair pulling, burning or biting. Amy now helps to raise awareness in schools and colleges, but she still feels stigmatised.
I was self-harming quite a lot through about 15 to 17, and it was getting out of control. I felt very judged by some of my teachers who found out. If I'm honest, I still think that stigma's there. I still feel judged.
Self-harm is a problem across Sussex, but its most vibrant city has the bleakest statistics. Brighton has more emergency admissions for self-harm than anywhere else in the south of England, and is 5th worst in the country, with rates that are double the national average. Teenagers are most at risk, with up to 13% of 15 and 16-year-olds admitting that they've deliberately hurt themselves.
Now we just think about how did it feel to receive compliments like that?
At Brighton City College, these beauty therapy students are in a workshop on well-being. It includes information about self-harm. But a recent report commissioned by the City Council highlighted a worrying lack of knowledge and training for frontline professionals working with this vulnerable age group, like teachers, GPs and A&E staff. In one study, 96% of A&E staff reportedly had no specific training in adolescent self-harm, while in the same research, none of the teachers who participated had received any professional guidance. Mental health workers say attitudes to self-harm have to change.
We were sadly disappointed by the results in that the perceptions were less than we had hoped. Even people working very closely with young people, so residential workers in some of the homes around the city, and even teachers, were not really aware of why young people were doing it. There was still this sense of it being attention seeking, which is what we're really trying to get away from. And yeah, not really understanding either how to respond to it.
Emma.
Many self-harmers will seek help from their GP. East Sussex also has some of the worst rates of depression and suicide in England. So doctors in Brighton are taking a new approach to mental health. For the first time, GPs and health experts are working with police, businesses and community groups to promote a happiness and well-being strategy. It's a city-wide initiative to improve mental health, including everyday ways to beat stress and overcome anxiety problems by encouraging simple pick-me-ups like exercise, chatting to a friend or taking up a hobby. But in the face of such a record on mental health, is it enough?
It's part of the picture. I mean, we absolutely need to invest in secondary care mental health and primary care mental health. But at the other end, we need to get out into communities that we know don't access mental health services. And as part of the strategy, we've got an innovation fund, which is £100,000, which people can bid for. So small groups can bid for up to £5,000 to do something that they think will improve their mental well-being, rather than us sitting here and saying, this will help you.
More self-harm awareness training has been promised for parents, schools and health professionals in Brighton and Hove in the next year. But how much? Amy Patterson still battles with the compulsion to hurt herself. She's winning the fight, but says what's really needed is a cultural change in attitude to mental health.
I think if people are educated, it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to admit that you want to get support.